incremental readings. I want to speak about the speed of reading in incremental reading versus a traditional speed reading. That I just want to go quicker. I make an effort to read faster, even if I compromise to some degree, some word here and there, and some comprehension. Before, we have seen a video, but the video the other video, speed reading versus incremental reading, is about the long term. But in the long term, with this incremental reading, I spend less time because I save ton of rereading and relearning that I don't do with incremental reading. Then, another approach is no. We know that already. Is what about just the speed of actual reading, regardless of if I need to reread or not. Then, what's the core assertion? That incremental readers can outpace speed readers in raw speaking speed. Do you think that is true? There's a caveat. Delayed comprehension is a trade-off. Bottom line, incremental reading ultimately spares you from the usual fear of missing vital details. Meaning, it's guaranteed you will miss details. You will compromise comprehension, guaranteed. But incremental reading always ensures you will get them. Because how it works. You can chunk it down and so on, delete. So what you keep, or let's say that I do, imagine that's an extract. Then I read the extract, imagine it's super long, a piece of text. Well, I still have the copy in the parent. And so on. So I can get the context, I can get the original, or whatever. I'm not deleting anything. Any trace I do stays a trace. Unlike in reading, that in reading, it just, you're a cut, there's no trace. You're not putting anything in the software. Nice. So why worry about comprehension? And this is even useful if you don't care about reading speed, which I don't either. It's about just with incremental reading, I worry about comprehension. With incremental reading, once you get used to it, sometimes it's delayed. I don't get it now. And that doesn't contradict the 20 rules of formulation knowledge. Understand before you memorize. Sometimes in incremental reading, Piotr Wozniak has written about that. You make some exceptions. You take it so incremental and it's so interspersed with different topics that you can afford making clauses before you actually understood. You are just kinda understand, but not enough. But you do the items for the sake of the incrementalism. You have another opportunity to come across this. So, this is wrong, this is no. So basically it's, I have an opportunity to become aware of some comprehension that is that is quite missing. Is to more or less indicate to my future self, this extract I'm doing, or this flashcard I'm doing, is just to check my future self if it comprehended that. Because now it's, like a lot of jargon about, biology. Kind of makes sense, but everything is new to me, right? If I see this later, and let's say in a month, and I have solidified some knowledge about something that is being mentioned, I'll have a better chance to comprehend that. But if I don't create the item, I don't have the chance for that, right? Nice. So I wanted to make this emphasis even if it was long. Then, what about comprehension? Traditional reading must ensure high comprehension at high speeds. What happens if there's a word, I don't know, or there's a concept, like in biology, a lot of jargon that, what the F is that? I'm just speed reading. I cannot stop and do whatever, right? Like in incremental reading. Then, in incremental reading, you skim less important parts without stress. And you schedule for future, if needed. That, this is too long. You remember the example in another video we have seen about the neuron. So, In this case, I have an advantage because I actually recorded this video like 2 weeks ago, so it's still an advantage. So I will go quicker than if it was the first time, if it was a cold read. Well, and so you follow me, I will do it in a voiceover. Then I will go slower because I will be limited by my speech. Then a neuron or nerve cell. I will start with my usual speed. Is an excitable cell that fires electric signals called action potentials across neural network and nervous system. They are located in the brain and the spinal cord and help receive and conduct impulses. Neurons communicate with other cells via synapses, which are specialized connections that commonly use minute amounts of chemicals, neurotransmitters, to pass the electrical signal from the presynaptic neuron from the target cell through the synaptic gap. Okay. What happens? Oh, because I'm used to that. But what is this? Synapse? Well, synapses is in plural. Neurotransmitter. Then presynaptic. Okay, this is already telling me it's before that, the synapses. Even if I don't know what it is, it's before that. Or this is not minute, like 60 seconds. It's minute. That's like not the first thing that my brain thinks, right? Which happened to me. My brain, while I was doing this, it said minute. It's more common, No, it's minute. You get what I mean? And if I continue, what is this? Plus a quote. What is peptide dietric? What is this? So if I speed read, I can do it, but I will sacrifice that. This is deleted, that I don't get it, right? So if it was incremental reading, I will make an extract of that, then I will check it. If it's out-related but not at the same degree, low priority. Oh, neural network, that's very related, high priority, and stuff like that. So now I will make an effort to read at faster degree, even though there's the bias that it's because it's voiced, a voiceover. I will be limited by my speech rather than my cognitive level. But even though it's pretty sure I will do mistakes, even though now I rehearsed, so it will be actually easier. I will do more mistakes, you will see. Wait. Another neuron or nerve cell is an excitable cell that fires electric signals called action potentials across neural network in the nervous system. They are located in the brain and a spinal cord and help receive conduct impulses. Neurons communicate with other cells via synapses, which are specialized connections that commonly use minute amounts of chemical neurotransmitters to pass the electrical signal from the presynaptic neuron to the target cell through the synaptic gap. So basically, most of my effort, my attention, is just on trying to keep up the rhythm. To deduce what I'm reading. Oh, that is neurotransmitter, that is Okay, the stress is in the third syllable. I'm not a native speaker, so I have to think sometimes that, override my brain, because the two languages I speak natively are the same word, almost, because it comes from Latin, but they are stressed in a different way. So it's, overrule this pattern. I'm focused so much on what to read that I'm not paying attention of what I'm reading, the narrative. It does make sense. Because at the end of the day, the words, the narrative, this is just the human way to communicate. So this doesn't make sense unless I have an effort to comprehend that. Are located. Okay, so where are the neurons? They are in the brain, spinal cord. What they do? They help receive. Okay, makes sense. But if I do, they're located. So I'm able to pronounce those words. But it will be much different that if I have just random words next to each other with no semantic connection, doesn't make any sense. It's not a sentence or even a phrase. But I'm able to pronounce that quickly. More or less the same. Is that, yep. I'm pronouncing things quickly, but uh, I don't get it, right? That's why you're compromising the comprehension. So then, for traditional speed reading, you need to be familiar with that, or you need to repeat several times. With incremental reading, I could do it without stress, because if I do like this, I don't care, because I will import this article, but I do another repetition, and I have the what's called like this. Let's say this is extracted. Next time I will see, hey, this has been extracted. Okay, let me continue. Continue there, then I have more opportunities. Or, hey, the result, that's not important. I will just change the priority, much lower. So it will be harder. It will be my collection. It will be harder to see it next time for the priority protection. But this is still my collection, meaning that I can search for it. I can get, or if I go neural, I can go there. Because it exists in my collection. Now, for the sake of the example, now I will go to a different place. More or less the jargon should be the same. Well, let me do it like this because of the saccade. It's too wide. Okay. So I will try to read this out loud. But this case I haven't practiced before. Nice. Most neuron receives signal via the dendrites and some signals down the axon. At the majority of the synapses, signal cross from the axon or one neuron to the dendrite of another. However, synapses can connect an axon to another axon and dendrite to another dendrite. The signaling process is partially electrical and partially chemical. Neuron electrical is suitable to the maintenance of voltage gradients across the membranes. If the voltage changes by a large amount, enough amount over a short interval, the neuron generates all or nothing electrochemical pulse called an action potential. The potential travels rapidly along the axon and activates synaptic connections as it reaches them. Synaptic signals can be excitatory and inhibitory, increasing or reducing the net voltage that reaches the soma. So I wasn't familiar with the text, so how it is written, but I'm familiar with the topic. I know all of that. Well, it's the first thing that I see it, all or nothing. Expressed like that. So I know this many years, and also I learned this in English. So I'm actually also familiar with the jargon in English. But for instance, this has been sacrificed. An action to another action, and then dendrite to another dendrite. But if I go slower, well, to my velocity, I will get it. But what happens? Then I will make, if it is a speed reading, I just keep going. With incremental reading is, oh yeah, so what I do is I get this and I make an extract out of that. I know I haven't comprehended this. Boom. I will take care later. Then hopefully I will have Spanish. Yeah, oh, finally. Ley todo nada. Okay, yeah. I know that. All or no, okay, it's all or none. For me, little translation would be where it is let me resize it. All or nothing electrochemical pulse. Okay, it's because todo nada. Yeah, makes sense. It's little translation, but it's the construction. I will never phrase that in my life as an adjective. Putting this as an adjective. Yeah. So, yeah, makes sense, right? I know this. I know that. So in this case, I will have only make one extract. That's why I don't care. I don't have a stress if I compromised my comprehension, because I will have only this tiny bit that I sacrificed on its own element, duplicated. But if I only do traditional speed reading, you sacrifice details. Or perhaps you even mistake one word for the other, stuff like that. By the way, let me know how well I did the speed reading, how much I mispronounced. Then, mispronounced or misread, that I read a different word that wasn't there. Then, how incremental reading boosts speed. Skim now, study later. That is the golden nugget. Skim now, study later, or learn later. Quickly jump paragraph to paragraph, learn the overall gist. Keep in mind, perhaps the Wikipedia is not the best example for that, because it has a lot of a structure. Every paragraph can be read on its own. It's self-contained, but usually that's not the case. If it's more like prose, narrative, you'll need to do this more. That, hey, I want to learn about the all of nothing paradigm. Is this telling me the result? Is this what I'm getting? Ta ta ta. I skip now, I study later. It's a very good strategy in Supermemo, in incremental reading, not in speed reading. You cannot make extracts on there. Then set priorities. Low priority segments might be delayed and skipped entirely. So you're going to skip that. I don't care about that. For instance, in Wikipedia, what I will do, let me use the same example. Let me see if there's history. Where's the table of contents, by the way? Oh my god. I'm so used to Wikipedia. Within Supermemo, oh my god. Yeah. History, which there's a specific place for history of neuroscience. But Santiago Ramon Cajal, which I know that because it's a Spaniard, But in 99, 91, nah. I just want to know what's currently known today. I don't care when that was discovered or what was thought before that now has been proven to be wrong. And I don't care about that. So usually, when I go to history, I will just skim it if there's something and move on. Absolutely move on. So it's just skip entirely, like the book. I don't need to read the entire book, only what I want from it. And then lower priority. That I will make the extract of the all or nothing. Sorry. Oh, it has its own. So it was in the text, here already known response, but has their own section. So we'll make an extract, and it will be on its own. Perhaps later in a year, I realize, oh wow, that's a big deal because now I'm more into neuroscience, So I will not just go through all of this without speed reading, so paying attention, that perhaps I will import the article. Even in this case, it doesn't expand much, but you get what I mean. And then, okay, perhaps I want that, so I will go and get the PDF to the real deal. Is and continue, because usually Wikipedia is a good start, but that's it, a good start. So there's no fear of missing out. And that, it's not coming in my repetition, it's been some weeks. Hey, I didn't miss it. It's not gone. I will go there, Alt-C, oh yeah, it's there. It's one of the siblings. Or if I don't know what it is, I will just search it because it's in my collection. So I will do search, neuron. I can do it because I know I have this article in my collection. And here you go. Sorry, it's not this one exactly. Then I only want topics. I have to wait too many. So what I will do is search for titles. Never. Okay, a lot less. And here you go. It's there. Neuron. And that's the extract I did before. Boom. Which more or less is what I have read before. And then you recover. And here you go. It's all or nothing. Radical impulse. Called action potential. Hey, I was familiar with action potential. It's just one of the many that can be all or nothing. It's not the only one, basically. Then, is this relevant to know? There's more stuff outside of the actual potential. Should I care? And I continue following my curiosity. So there's no missing out. Because anything skimmed can be revisited and reprocessed in depth, in sequence sessions, in any other day. Then, balancing speed and comprehension. You should focus on top priority material, And the lower the priority, the more scheme you can do. Then you have stress-free skimming, eliminates the bottleneck of speed reading, that is the fear of losing important bits. That's neglected. It's just, you will miss it today, but not tomorrow. So when you're reading, yeah, you will lose details, that's for sure. We're human. You cannot go faster and have full comprehension. But whatever you may miss, it will come later. And you have future relevance. By the time you return, some scheme fragments may be relevant, saving further effort. Because now your future self has more knowledge, or has solidified knowledge that before was very new, then crystallized, that, hey, now this makes a different perspective. That's, for instance, when reading this, that, hey, I already know Rabban Nakahal, all of that, right? Imagine I didn't. So before I was paying attention that, oh, who is that person, and then, you know what I mean? Now it's, oh, yeah, I know that, pa. So I can even skip some other information because it's irrelevant, saving more time. So what's the advantage? Speed reading is good for quick scanning, but risk of missing details. And incremental reading is fast initial pass plus deeper recheck equals speed without comprehension loss. So at the end of the day, in the long term, not on the first day, is the same as a speed reading, but without sacrificing the comprehension loss. It's a win-win. And retention, we have a speed repetition. That even if I do read and I do comprehend, then I will have space repetition to keep it in memory. So I do remember what I have understood. Because please don't fall victim of the myths that if it's important, I will remember it. Or if I understand it, I will remember it. No, doesn't work like that. Most of the stuff will be forgotten, especially if you don't have enough repetition in real life. And retention is key, because memory fades. Even if you have actual natural repetition, some of the stuff will still fade because of what's called interference. Incremental reading minimizes the forgetting, which is spending the minimum amount of time reviewing. And the practical case is that retaining essential long-term knowledge is best done incrementally. So if, let's say, I'm on neuroscience, it's best if I do read or speed read 10 paragraphs in 10 different days, the 10 paragraphs in sequence. Or in the same day, but different sessions, but within the same day. Then, traditional reading still has a place for entertainment and casual knowledge. The YouTube now, the ads, the extension doesn't work. Oh, how I can kill the ads in YouTube? Oh, I get the solution. That's it. I don't need to know that anymore because I fixed my problem. Or just for entertainment. Oh, I like this movie. Or let me see where it was filmed or the main actors. Stuff like this. Something that I don't care. So I won't put in my Supermemo collection. And in incremental reading, for any info you want to truly retain, especially in the long term, I don't care that, oh yeah, look, you know that little actor when he was a kid in that movie, now it's an adult, look how it is, how fat it is, or how impossible to recognize him it is. Okay, but other than that, I don't want to retain this information, right? Those are still use cases for traditional reading. Then, for speed readers, adding another reading to your skill set. If you're already fast, layering incremental reading hones comprehension that ensures knowledge sticks. Meaning, you already know how to read very fast, you're used to it, now you're just sacrificing the retention. So use incremental reading so you can remember what you have read, basically. And you may think, I don't forget that much. No, yes you do. It's just you forgot of what you have forgotten, so you're not even aware. If you had a software that logs everything you have read, and you had a number of how many pieces of information you have read versus how much you recall, you'll see that, oh, I have 23,000 items that I have forgotten. Oops, 23,000, that's quite a lot. But since I'm a victim of forgetting, and I don't know how much I've forgotten, oh yeah, I can recall 1,000. It's very good, because I think it's 1,000 out of 5. Yeah, it's 20%. No. It's more than that. It's 23,000. So you remember like 5% or less. You're just unaware of the magnitude you're forgetting. So then, what will be the result for a speed reader? You become even faster, a more thorough reader. Faster in the long term, meaning you don't have to reread as before, and more thorough, because the details you have neglected, you'll have a second chance to get them. So conclusion, incremental reading is better than speed reading for retention and stress-free speed. It's not always better. Remember, for what I don't care, like trivia or some entertainment, speed reading is best. Then, skim quickly, revisit strategically. No detail is really lost, or detail you want to revisit. It will be there, in your collection, waiting for you. Meaning that if your collection is huge, thousands of paragraphs, of articles even, they will be there, lost, in transition. You have never came later, because perhaps you do, let's say, that I only do this for 5% of my collection. I just don't know what would that be. Therefore, I need to keep everything. I don't know what I will be pushed forever in my priority queue that I will never reach, if that makes sense. And the long-term benefit. You will have better memory, deeper comprehension, and flexible reading sessions. And even that, deeper comprehension is because even if you are speed reading, and I came across a very low frequency word or concept, because of spaced repetition, it's dead. Oh, neurotransmitter. I don't have to think what it is. Stuff like that. So final note. One, speed and quality, embrace incremental reading. The best thing you can do. And remember the golden nugget. Skim now, study later. That's different from skim now, forgot about it, which is what you will do without the speed repetition or incremental reading. But that's all for now. See you incrementally.